What's up everybody, how's it going? It's Berk, aka Dan's Great here, and welcome back to more from this playthrough of Horizon Forbidden West on the PlayStation 5. The last session was an intense one. We got back to the story, we had the call route and everything that went off in there. There was a lot of machines, a lot of fighting, and our character survived. I'm surprised. I mean, Hikaru, I thought he was a goner, but he made it. And now we finally got Ether and we can head back to Gaia and see what's going to happen. So I think that was the main thing I wanted to do first. There are other things to be done, of course, as there always is, and there's a lot of the map that hasn't been revealed. So I think once I go back again, we'll probably be looking to expand out some of this map here. There's two giant sections here, so I don't want to try to carve like just a straight line through the middle and just get to the end and ignore almost all of this. So we'll see how that goes. But for now, I'd like to get back to Gaia, so I think I'll go there first. So let's go to the fast travel. And we're starting to build up a team of people now. Erend is there, and his bloody name, Kotallo? Kotallo, right? Let's find out. He's there too, so hopefully we'll get to see some new people there and have some new conversations as well. You can already see like a final big battle is brewing and like the soldiers are assembling.
I see you, champion. Sit, please.
You shouldn't miss this chance to trade.
Always take the free rumor.
A caravan of Asura make camp in the still sands south of here. We've tolerated them so far. But their leader's a greedy profiteer. He steps out of line, I'll gladly send the whole camp packing.
That's fair enough.
Break even. I mean, even a side quest
Sounds
for
like
it.
the Asura are taking
You can
quite a
trust
risk
it
being out
when
here.
it comes to combat.
Yeah, I was gonna
Maybe I
say.
should talk to them. Find out what they're doing.
What on earth are those Asuram doing out here? Playing a very dangerous game. Now, let me get back into here. That's how. But yeah, I really want to know more about these Far Zenith people right now. That's one of the main things, because they've been absent from the story now. They kind of just showed up with their futuristic outfits and their Elizabeth Sobek clone, and they kind of disappeared again. I'm assuming with Poseidon we'll find out more.
Yeah, like this? Oh,
You're not waving a hammer around, Erend. Try a gentler touch.
and my big sausage fingers don't really do gentle, okay?
Bring it back. Trace the line. To your right. Other right.
I just saw it. It's the one Aloy found up north. Gotcha! They call it a concussion beat party or something. Yeah, now that's music.
Aloy!
Erend, you're all better. And you're here.
Well, the world only goes on if you can do your thing. We learn fast enough, we help make that happen. You want all the backup you can get, right?
We still have much training to do, of course. One does not become hunter in a day.
Each seed grows at a pace of its own. Doesn't mean it won't bloom. You should know your Tanakh friend arrived.
Kotallo.
I heard their warriors drink people's blood. I want to sleep with one eye open.
I think he's seen enough blood for a lifetime.
I showed him to one of the rooms. He seems to appreciate the privacy.
Looks like you've got things under control. I should get this to Gaia.
Right. We'll keep on training. Catch up as fast as we can.
I'm seeing glyphs in my dreams already.
Well, while you've been off gallivanting around, I've been working with Gaia to find out more about the land gods. So from where I'm standing, you're in need of some training. Come along.
Okay.
Get it, Val.
Oh, and I delivered your message to Talana. She headed for that Oseram camp you two were looking for, to the southwest.
Okay.
The old ones fed off livestock.
It's nice to have this, to have these guys here, definitely. So I've got my stash here. Oh wait, no.
Vegetarian.
Oh, okay, some nice freebies there.
From what I'm reading,
That's
all
what I'm
the old
talking
ones
about.
wanted to eat.
Let me just
Looks
get
like
a...
someone's made this space their own.
Wow. Well,
I
this is
see you
a...
found Varl and Zoe's room, Aloy. I believe they wanted private accommodations.
I see.
I mean, can you blame them? I mean, they've definitely created a much more cozier vibe in here now. Is that a... they even made like a little statue of the plow horn. That's cute. But yeah, definitely good to be back with these guys as well. Of course, it's a very isolated kind of job to do all of this stuff, and a lot of it we do by ourselves, exploring the big wide world of the open, of the Forbidden West. So it's nice to come back to some friends. Like I say, I think one thing I am looking for is to see if we get to have more communication while we're out in the field. I truly think that's a wasted opportunity if we're not having like Erend's banter while we're kind of off exploring and trying to do some stuff, and he's maybe asking us some questions, giving us some updates, telling us a story. I feel like there's so much empty space that they can fill with something like that it would be a shame if it wasn't utilized. So we'll see how that goes, but it's definitely something I'm looking for as we move forward. I think maybe I want to speak to our new guest first.
Looks like this room's changed. Is that your doing, Gaia?
Yes. I have repurposed the displays to track the cauldrons you have acquired data from.
Okay, let's chat.
Aloy.
It's good to see you. I'm guessing you've got a lot of questions?
I've been told of our enemy and their intentions. Your friends showed me to the vision you keep in this place, Gaia, and gave me this focus. I don't pretend to fully understand everything, but all I really need to know is where to train and when to fight.
Welcome to the team, then.
Nice. He's my kind of guy. He's like, don't give me the particulars, just I'm just a warrior. Tell me where to train or where to fight. So there's a lot of conversation. I mean, I'm definitely going to have these conversations. It'd be a shame to miss out on them. And then we'll go from there.
You said the Bulwark was your home a long time ago. That you were part of the Sky Clan.
Yes.
That's all you're gonna tell me?
Fine. As you wish. My parents were killed in a clan skirmish, so I was raised by my squad. As I grew older, I came to be known as an accomplished fighter. Tekote took a special interest in me. I fought by his side against the Karja, and led my squad on a dangerous climb into the Daunt. It was I who opened the gates at Barren Light from the east side, allowing the Tenakth to raise it.
That must have gotten you some attention.
Indeed. I was welcomed home as a hero, and I was content.
Then why'd you leave?
I became a marshal.
Why did you leave the Sky Clan to become a marshal?
I was sent to the Kulrut by Tekote. Back then, I would have obeyed his every order. I believed in him, like one would a father. I was too blind to see the fear in his eyes. Fear of a rising young warrior challenging his command of the clan. I returned a hero from the battle at Barren Light. But to him, I was only a threat. Never occurred to him that I had no interest in rising above my station.
Why did Tekote think you wouldn't be a threat to him if he sent you to the Kulrut?
Tekote knew that if I survived the Kulrut, I'd be forced to forsake the clan to serve the Tenakth as a whole. I'd never be allowed to challenge his command, even if I wanted to. After our victory at Barren Light, Tekote spoke to our people, said it would be selfish to rob Hikaru and the marshals of a warrior like myself. Even though he knew perfectly well I had no intention of ever leaving. It was exile, guised as an honor. One he knew I couldn't refuse. So I became a marshal, and never looked back.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
I am not. Though it pained me at the time, a marshal is what I was destined to be.
I mean, he was a very good marshal too.
When we were at the Bulwark, the guard said something about the wings of the Ten. Hikaru also mentioned it at the Cool Route. Dekka, too. What does it mean?
The visions tell us that the Ten flew on great metal machines with wings, and leapt into battle from the sky. For us, to imitate this feat is the ultimate expression of martial prowess, and it is why the challengers leap into the arena during the Cool Route. Many times I imagined it as a child. The feeling of freedom, and the awe it must have inspired.
Yeah, I'm still definitely curious about how we're going to fly or how we're going to get to the tall neck that has nowhere to jump onto it from.
What did Chief Hikaru say when you told him he'd be joining me here?
You spilt rebel blood at the Grove and helped reunite the clans. There was little more to be said. He understood.
Well, I'm honored he lent me his best marshal. At least for a little while.
Indeed.
Yeah, I really like this guy. He's cool. And again, it's a nice contrast to a lot of the other types as well. So we've already got a band of different kinds of people here, all uniting under the same goal, which is always the kind of themes I enjoy in these stories.
What are you looking at over there?
The others have been helping me decipher the symbols the focus shows me. So, I thought I'd try to understand the weapon you intend to use against the enemy. This Hephaestus, it will be able to make machines? That answer to Gaia?
Yes.
How many?
As many as we need.
Such power. Has the world ever seen the like?
Yeah, so the Zeniths are definitely an interesting conversation. I mean, what does he know at this point?
Now that you know who the enemy is, do you have any questions?
I'll admit, I find them hard to grasp. From the heavens. And invulnerable.
For now.
I will leave the strategy to you. I trust you will point my blade where it will cut the deepest.
Okay, doesn't have much, understandably.
What do you think of our squad?
They seem eager to fight. Though I admit it is strange to see a new Taru in the ranks. Farmers don't make for effective soldiers.
She seemed pretty effective when she took out the machines that were guarding this base.
Interesting. Perhaps I am mistaken.
Yeah, that's fair enough. It's nice of him to say that.
I should go. Feel free to check in on Hikaru and your people. Door's always open here.
I will. May the Ten walk with you.
Yeah, he's definitely a really cool guy. I like having him around. He does give you that confidence. He seems a very reliable, strong guy. Now, I can craft this override. Yeah, I'm not even close with any of the others, but this one I can, so let's do it. Override already unlocked. So, I think what I'm trying to understand here is you can unlock these without going to the cauldron. Is that the point here? It's strange because... yeah, I guess maybe you can get some of them. So without going to Cauldron Tower, I can unlock the Plowhorn maybe? Is that how it works? Because there was a little bit of confusion where she'd go up to some machines and she'd be like, oh, I can unlock a override for these guys, but we already unlocked it, so that's a little bit weird, but we'll see what happens as we keep going. Where's the workbench?
Strange.
Come on, man. There we go. No, okay. A quick note also, something that I think is worth mentioning. in my playthrough, at no point have I like deliberately edited out any like glitches or any issues or anything that I've had with the game. So of course, I think with a game of this size and this scope, on release day and like on the first weekend especially, you're definitely going to see some crazy glitches and some weird stuff happening. And I think that's pretty much the case for every game. I don't think a glitchless game of this size exists pretty much. But my experience has been whatever you guys have watched so far. So I haven't really seen any crazy glitches or anything. We've had some weird like speech overlapping and like saying things twice and stuff like that. So we've definitely had a few weird little moments, but nothing that I would say is like really messed up the experience or anything that's a serious problem or anything like that. So that's something that's worth mentioning. And this morning, as of the 23rd of February, there was a patch, I think it's patch 1.05 or 0.06, and it's already gone some way towards addressing some of the biggest glitches and issues that people have encountered, which I personally haven't so far. But it's good to know that, of course, it's being patched and will continue to be patched. So if there's people that have liked what they've seen so far and they're like, yeah, I'll get it at some point and try it myself, I'm sure by the time you guys get it too, the chances of encountering any major bugs or glitches or anything like that would be pretty damn low. And even for me, as someone playing on release day, it's been absolutely fine. But of course, there are going to be people that are facing weird issues. I did, yeah, I think I've had the screen blackout once or twice, but other than that, it's basically been nothing. And those blackouts were like half a second and then it was gone. I think it happened maybe 2 or 3 times in 24 hours, so no biggie. Let's speak to Erend.
Hey.
Hey.
Nice place.
Well, it's not like I built it or anything.
Right. Well, I can see why you had your doubts about bringing us along. It is a lot to take in. But, don't worry. That's nothing I can't handle.
Right.
Right, let's talk.
How are you settling in?
Varl's been helping me get the lay of the land, when he's not getting all tongue-tied. I don't know who makes him more nervous, that Gaia lady or our new Utaru friend.
What about the Vanguard? Aren't you supposed to be back east, ordering them around?
I sent some of them back to Meridian with a message. I doubt Avad will mind me sticking around to help the savior of Meridian.
Very well.
I see Varl gave you a focus.
Well, it doesn't look as fashionable on me, but by the Forge, the things I've been able to see. Granted, a lot of them are bad, you know, the old world ending and such. I'm still trying to wrap my head around most of it, but I never really understood how you were ever able to find my sister back in the Sundom. And now I do, sort of. It makes me feel like I could be useful, you know?
It takes some time, but yeah.
He just wants to be useful, man. I think companions are still there, so I'll ask him again.
So, you've met our new Tanakh friend.
Ah, yes.
He's, quiet. I thought his people were supposed to be bloodthirsty maniacs.
You shouldn't believe everything you hear.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you trust him, so do I.
Yeah, simple enough.
So, Talana came by the base?
Yeah, more like rushed through. I was hoping she'd stay for a drink at least. Only Carja I've ever met who's any fun. But it seemed like she had more pressing matters to attend to.
I guess you know what we're up against by now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When Varl first told me those bastards come from the stars, I thought he'd eaten too many of those medicinal berries. Yeah, but I've gotten used to seeing impossible things, thanks to you. I just wish they weren't always trying to kill us.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah, true that.
I better go.
Right. Yeah, I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, I'm hoping Gaia can give us a little more. Obviously, I'm not expecting these guys to give me that much about Far Zenith at the moment.
Wow, this place is starting to come alive.
Yeah, and Gaia placed all the data she got from your focus into that archive room. With the focuses you gave us, we'll be able to access it at our own pace. You know, learn and train. And if you need us, we'll be there to fight at your side.
Got it. Thanks, Varl. I'm guessing you've spoken with Kotallo?
I wanted to pay my respects for those who fell when we were ambushed at the embassy. Told him I'd never seen anyone throw themselves at a machine like he did. He said a warrior shouldn't be praised for fulfilling their duty. For a second, I thought I was talking to my mother. Never thought a Tenakth and a Nora war chief could have so much in common.
I'm guessing Talana didn't stay for long?
You got that right. Makes you wonder what this Amadis guy did to grab her attention.
Whatever it was, she didn't tell me.
Must be quite a story.
I guess she'll tell us when she's ready.
Yeah, that's a side quest I'm definitely going to continue.
How's everyone handling their focus?
And we all have our difficult moments. Erend definitely curses the most. But I'm hoping Oseram's stubbornness prevails.
Fair play. Companions is still on, I think.
How's everyone doing?
Just taking it all in. No one snapped their bowstrings yet.
I feel like the Companions one should just flow as one big conversation instead of interrupting and making us pick every time. We should just have a conversation about everyone and be done with it.
How's, training with Zoe?
You know we really are training. Mostly. Look, she reads glyphs faster than I can already. I'd be a fool to refuse her help.
Of course.
Yeah, let's not go too... Well, she still wants to ask more about the training, so let's do that.
You guys reading something over there?
We just finished going through all the logs you collected back in Nora territory. And All Mother Mountain. It's hard to imagine that my ancestors were trapped inside, without the knowledge from Apollo to guide them.
Thanks to Ted Faro.
Yeah. I wonder how it must have felt when they were finally free. The world must have seemed so beautiful.
Not to mention terrifying. They weren't much more than kids.
And they became an entire tribe.
Looks like I was wrong about the Zeniths. Their ship didn't explode on its way to Sirius like everyone thought.
And we saw how they lied about creating a better future at their launch facility. Guess they lied about what happened to their ship, too. But still, a tribe settling amongst the stars.
I couldn't put a single dent in their shields, Varl. That one Zenith almost killed me.
That didn't stop you from resurrecting Gaia. Won't stop us from using Hephaestus against them.
Let's hope that's enough. Think you can hold the fort while I'm gone?
If Erend stops listening to the same music over and over again, maybe. We'll be fine.
I mean, I'm still assuming that the music Erend is listening to is the one that we found in the Wilds DLC, the last People on Earth quest. Right, final bit of conversation before we go to Gaia.
Varl looks happy about his training partner.
Learning is best done together.
Have you gone back to Plainsong at all?
I thought about it, but I wouldn't know what to tell them. The chorus already thinks me a thorn in the thicket. If they knew what we did to Fa, even if they understood, there'd be little they could grasp about all this. No. For now, I must leave the tribe behind.
Did Gaia tell you anything about the Zeniths?
She did, though it wasn't exactly easy to believe. To think that there are places among the stars where life can bloom as it does here, it is humbling, to say the least, and heartbreaking that such life should be bent on destroying ours.
True.
What are you up to?
Gaia was kind enough to put together a list of glyphs used by the Old Ones. She helped me decipher some of the data you've collected and showed me how to use the focus to help the process. It's not easy, but it's been working so far.
That's good to hear. Did Gaia tell you anything?
To think that there... And...
I see you've settled in.
Gaia did say this place was built for us, so we could regain control of our lands with her terraforming system. Nurture them like the land gods do Plainsong's fields. It does strike me as odd that a place of life should have so much metal.
Sounds like you met my friend Talana.
Yes, the Karja Huntress. I haven't seen armor like hers since the Red Raids. But Varl tells me that she too suffered at the hands of the Mad Sun King.
Yeah. She's one of the good ones. Trust me. You've spoken with Kotallo?
A few words. Tenakth don't have much use for us outsiders. You must have made quite the impression for him to offer his fealty.
So you've been talking to Gaia?
Yes. She was kind enough to take me through some of the history of the Old Ones, including their demise and the heroic actions of her creator, Elizabeth Sobek. I was surprised to see she was you. Past, but reborn? Not that I claim to understand how.
You've been getting to know Erend, I assume?
Of course. Any friend of Varl's is a friend of mine. In this case, a very loud friend.
So, how does a tribe like the Utaru manage to maintain the peace with warriors like the Tenakth?
Yeah, that's a question I've had.
By holding them off. When our fields bloomed aplenty, the Tenakth looked upon our lands with envy. But Plainsong's dishes provided sanctuary and high ground to keep invaders at bay. In the end, even the Tenakth saw sense in a truce. The Utaru promised to provide the Tenakth with food from our crops every year. In exchange, the Tenakth would relinquish one of their own, a veteran, to train the Utaru in combat. This custom was abandoned a few years after the derangement. But some veterans still remain in the plains.
I've been meaning to ask, what's the deal with you and the chorus? You didn't seem to be on the best of terms.
That's what happens when you're the one Utaru who insists on publicly defying them. Twice. When the Karja invaded the Utaru plains, they did more than just attack our villages. They burned our fields, took our people as slaves, and murdered those who were too weak to make the trip back to Meridian.
To be sacrificed in the Sun Ring.
I was helping the healers back then, as waves of refugees swarmed into Plainsong. The chorus was divided in how to face the invaders. Some saw sense in raising arms. Others believed the dishes would keep us safe, as they had many times before. And while they bickered, I buried the seeds of the fallen.
It couldn't have been easy. Seeing your people suffer while the Karja invaded your lands.
I come from a small village near Plainsong. My grandmother used to say there was no seed that wouldn't grow there. I moved to the dishes when I decided to apprentice as a healer. When the Red Raids began, I thought about going back. But the injured kept pouring into Plainsong, day after day. So I kept putting it off. One day, I woke up to hear a Karja raiding party had ransacked my village during the night. I rushed there with the healers to help the survivors, but there weren't any left. The smell of burning flesh haunts me to this day.
I'm sorry, Zoe.
I made it a point to appear before the chorus as soon as we returned, to demand that we take a stand against the invaders. I was denied. So I left to fight on my own.
You said you set out to fight the Karja alone?
I did. But it turned out I wasn't the only one. News of my disagreement with the chorus spread through the plains. Before I knew it, I had more than a dozen Utaru warriors ready to follow me into battle. We knew we couldn't take on the Karja armies head-on, but we also knew the lay of the land better than they did. We ambushed smaller raiding parties, sabotaged their supply lines, and hit their encampments at night.
Sounds like you were a force to be reckoned with.
Enough that the Tenakth took notice. When the clans began to push the Karja back east, they let us join their ranks. We chased the enemy all the way to Barren Light.
You said you were at Barrenlight when the Tenakth defeated the Karja?
Tenakth marshals climbed the cliffs of the Daunt under cover of night, then attacked from the other side. Before we knew it, the gates were open, and the full force of the clans burst through. What happened next was not something I like to remember. When all the dust and blood settled, I smelled it again. The stench of burnt flesh. Our enemies defeated. What was left of my squad returned to the Utaru Plains. I went back to Plainsong. But even as the harvests passed, it didn't feel like I'd truly returned at all.
Is that when you became a grave singer?
I thought soothing the suffering of others would somehow appease my own. Then you came along and gave me a choice. I could either sing at people's graves or fight for a chance to keep them alive.
I'm glad you chose the latter.
That's a pretty cool story. I mean, again, when you came in here, Kotallo was like, you know, I'm surprised that kind of she's here, and that, like, is she really that accomplished a warrior? But getting to hear her story and the things that she's managed to do is definitely pretty cool. I mean, since these guys are our core, I guess, party members in a way, I think it's nice to know their stories.
Right, I should probably go.
I shall return to our training then.
Okay, so I think that wraps it up. I don't think there's anything more I need to do in here. I can speak to Gaia now. So let's do that and see if we've got any new information.